Hey, what's up, guys? We're back with another NFL record prediction. Before I get started, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Only 13% of you guys that watch my videos are currently subscribed, so let's try to get that number up a little bit. If we can get it to like 15%, even that would be a big jump. We're also aiming for 325 subscribers, so please help me out with that. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. They were predicting the Atlanta Falcons record for 2021. Right off the bat, I don't think they're going to miss much of a beat offensively. I think, yeah, Julio Jones was a big loss, but I think Kyle Pitts is going to be a big addition. Also, I think Calvin Ridley is going to have a much bigger role now. I mean, even last year, he had gotten double teamed quite a bit and still put up really, really good numbers. I also think Russell Gage could very well step into a bigger role this year and be more of a wide receiver too for the Falcons. So I think they've got some really solid weapons. I think Matt Ryan still has a solid amount left in the tank. Um, my main concern is the defense again. I'm not really convinced that the defense got much better from last year. I do really like the pickup of Richie Grant. I think that'll really help the secondary. I think another year for AJ Terrell will really help as well. I think he can be a pretty solid corner for the Falcons. Um, and then obviously Grady Jarrett and Deion Jones. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot that I'm in love with on this defense. Um, I think Arthur Smith could be a solid head coach. We just haven't seen him be a head coach yet, so we're just not sure of that yet. But let's go ahead and jump into the prediction. Week one. Um, it seems like Eagles and Falcons play each other like every year. I swear they're like always playing each other. Like even dating back to 2018. I know they played each other then. They played each other in 2019. Um, I want to say they played each other in 2020, but I could be mistaken. And those games are always competitive. I do think the Falcons win it. I think they have the better team. I think they have the better coach. And I just don't think the Eagles' defense is going to be able to stop the Falcons' weapons. Week two, I'll be honest, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are too good of a team. I think they're honestly going to sweep the Falcons, if I'm being honest. I think they have a top three defense in the league, in my opinion. And they have, in my opinion, also the best wide receiver core. And they also have a very good offensive line and the greatest quarterback of all time. I just don't really see a way that the Falcons can really win one of these games. I really don't. Week three of the Falcons at Giants, this could actually be a pretty underrated matchup. Because in my opinion, the Giants, I think, will have a top three secondary core in the league. But the Falcons also have one of the best, like offensive cores in the league. Like their weapons, their skill position players, I think is also one of the best in the league. So this could be a really good matchup. Um, I previously predicted the Giants to win this, but you know what? I think the Falcons can actually pull it off. I really do. I think the Falcons can put up some good points against the Giants and really make it hard for the secondary. Week four, I'm giving this one to the Washington football team. I think they could have the best defense in the league next year. If you watch my prediction for them, I'm very high on the Washington football team. They easily, in my opinion, have the best defensive line in football. They've also got a very solid linebacking core and a very solid secondary. And Ron Rivera is a good coach. I think he will do really good with this team next year. Week five, this is kind of a tough one. I think the Jets, honestly, are trending in the right direction. I think they made a lot of good moves this offseason, including really fixing up that offensive line. And I think Robert Saleh will be the best newly hired head coach this year. But I just don't think they're there yet. I think this early in the season, I think Zach Wilson will kind of struggle a little bit. I I think he is the franchise guy, but I don't think he's going to be phenomenal yet. Then coming off a bye week, I think the Falcons, honestly, I think the Falcons will find a way to honestly beat the Dolphins. I know this is surprising to a lot of people, but I think the Falcons could honestly find a way to beat the Dolphins. The more I look at this Dolphins team, honestly, the less I like it. I mean, I've mentioned before, I'm not all that confident in Tua. I don't think they're going to have a great running game. Their offensive line is kind of meh. I think it was really dumb of them to pass on Penei Sewell for Jalen Waddle. I think that's really going to come back to bite them. And, I mean, I've heard there's issues with Xavier Howard and his contract situation. I wouldn't be surprised if he sits out, in all honesty. I'm not sure he wants to play with his current contract situation. So, we could see something shocking happen there. So I think the Falcons will find a way to win that one. Week 8, I think they'll split with the Panthers. I think the Panthers, honestly, are a much better team this year than last year. I mean, they added a lot of pieces to that defensive line and to that secondary, and honestly, the pickup of Denzel Perriman at linebacker, I feel like was a really underrated pickup, as well as Morgan Fox on the D-line. Those are only a couple of the underrated signings I feel like the Panthers got this year. But the Falcons always play the Panthers tough. I don't think the Panthers are going to sweep the Falcons this year. But I think those are going to be some fun games to watch. Week 9, I think the Falcons will honestly split with the Saints as well. I think the Saints and Panthers, honestly, this year, I think they're on about the same level. I think while the Panthers take a big step forward, the Saints also take a pretty big step backward. And, I mean, honestly, Falcons also play the Saints pretty tough. This could very well be a situation where the Falcons sweep the Saints. I know that's kind of a long shot because the Saints are still a good team, but they took a big step back this year. But week 10, we have the Falcons at the Cowboys. I'm going to give this one to the Cowboys. I think this is going to be a very, very, very offensive game. I think both teams will put up over 30 points. I'm not real fond of either defense, but both offenses are just incredible. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think the Cowboys ultimately pull it off. Week 11, you have the Patriots at the Falcons. I'm also going to give this one to the Patriots. I think they're just a much better team. Bill Belichick's experience head coaching is just it's going to win them this game. I mean, last year Cam Newton didn't have hardly any weapons, and a lot of the defense opted out. This year, a lot of those guys are coming back. They got much better weapons, and I think Bill Belichick's going to be ready to return to a winning season. So I think the Patriots win that one. Week 12, I'm going to give this one to the Jaguars. The Falcons. Falcons beating the Jaguars. Sorry. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, I think, is going to be really good, but that roster is still kind of in shambles. I think, aside from Trevor Lawrence, in my mind, the only really good pieces they have are they've got Josh Allen, they've got Shaq Griffin, they've got Cam Robinson, and DJ Chark. The rest of the roster, in my opinion, is just not in a good spot right now. So I think the Falcons are the better team and will pull off the win. I'm also not confident in Urban Meyer as the head coach over there, if I'm being completely honest. Week 15, the Falcons at 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to be, honestly, a very, very tough defensive team again. I mean, last year they had, I want to say at one point they had 20 guys on IR at one point. No team is going to be able to win with that, and they still pulled off a I want to say they went like 7-9 record, or might have been 6-10. I mean, with all those guys healthy, I think they're gonna get back to being a very very strong playoff team. So I'm giving this one to the 49ers. Week 16, I think the Lions could very well be. Honestly, I think they could be the. I think they're gonna compete with the Texans to be the number one overall pick. Um, I mean, I like the offensive line, but that's about all I like for the Lions. Um, their defense is not looking great. They don't have weapons other than T.J. Hawkinson, and I mean Jared Goff. Yeah, he's probably going to be a serviceable quarterback, but he's not going to be a long term answer. He's not. I think he'll be out of the league in a couple of years. Um, so I'm going to give this one to the Falcons. And then week 17, I'm giving this one to the Bills. The Bills are just a much better team than the Falcons in my mind. So this overall gives the Falcons an 8-9 record for 2021. I mean, they've got a pretty easy schedule. There's some games here that I could really see the Falcons winning. Like I said before, the Falcons play the Saints pretty tough as well. And with the Saints not being quite as good this year, I could very well see the Falcons possibly sweeping them. I could see a win over the Cowboys as well because, of how offensive both teams are. Cowboys defense could really struggle. That's really about it. I see their ceiling at about 10 or 11 wins with their floor at 5 or 6 wins. So I'm giving them 8-9. Let me know what your prediction for the Atlanta Falcons is in the comments section below. Again, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Later.